Well, here in Zone 5, March is a month that really tests a gardener's patience. You might see some spring bulbs starting to peek out in the ground. You might see some buds starting to form on some of the trees, and the weather's starting to turn a little bit. So you think to yourself, I have been so patient this whole winter. I want to start putting something into the ground. So you march outside and you plant your seeds or your little seedlings into the ground. And then what happens? Bam! You get that late spring freeze and all of your little seedlings and plants have died. But not to fret, there is action that you can take right now. March is a wonderful time to start your seeds inside. And if you stick around, I'll show you exactly what I'm planting this March. Yes, you can begin seeding. And one of the first things that I seed every year are onions. Onions have an extremely long growing season, up to 150 days, which is like 5 months. So it's not unusual for me to start seeding my onions at the end of January or early February. This year I'm late, so I'm going to start doing them now. And I figure, if these onions don't reach their full potential, they'll be scallions, and we use a lot of those in our cooking, so they surely won't go to waste. And while we're talking seeding here, there's no need to rush out and buy a bunch of little plastic containers or those plastic seeding trays. If you check out this video that's coming up right now, I will show you how to make these little handy newspaper seeding pots, let's call it. And they're so simple. You just plop them into the ground. You don't have to remove the newspaper at all. They're completely biodegradable. So definitely check that out. Let's talk about herbs. So right now I am seeding basil, sage, bergamot, and dill. And for me personally, I already had an established sage plant, so I just took a little cutting from it, and that's how I'm going to start my sage plant for this year. But for my other herbs, I'm starting with seeds. As for fruits and vegetables, right now I'm starting inside my celery, my celeriac, pumpkins, artichoke, and melon. Melon especially because melon requires a very long and warm growing season. And as someone who lives in upstate New York, that's not an environment that I can really offer for growing melon. So the best thing I can do is try to mimic or recreate that environment somewhere else. So for me, I have a small greenhouse or little shed that I really love on my property, and I'm going to start the melon in there sooner. So that way they get a head start, and it also stays much warmer inside that greenhouse. I've tried growing melon before. I did it a couple years ago. I waited and waited so patiently, and I had this really beautiful, large, green watermelon. We cut into it, and it's bright white, no flavor whatsoever, and it was a huge disappointment. But that's not going to stop me. I'm going to try it again this year, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So that is what else I am growing inside. Here's an extra tip. Now is a great time to prune your berry bushes. So blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, gooseberries, anything like that. Currants too. Why? Because when you prune these, you can actually take them and make them into cuttings and put them into the ground so you can start new ones too. So it's a very convenient time of the year to do this. Am I missing something? Are you planting something that I haven't thought of? Leave it in the comments below and help me out. The beginning of spring is a thrilling time. It's full of possibility. If you're looking for another crop to grow, because I imagine that you're planting your garden right now, have you ever thought about growing Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes? If you check out this video that's coming up right here, I will give you 3 reasons why you should consider growing these tubers. And they are a wonderful, nutritious, easy to grow, and valuable addition to anyone's garden. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in that video.